In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, peace be upon you. I was reading the Bible, and in particular Samuel 8, verses 6 to 22. I'm going to read them here. But when they said, "Give us a king to lead us," this displeased Samuel. So he prayed to the Lord, and the Lord told him, "Listen to all that the people are saying to you. It is not you they have rejected, but they have rejected me as their king, as they have done from the day I brought them up out of Egypt until this day, forsaking me and serving other gods. So they are doing to you. Now listen to them, but warn them solemnly, and let them know what the king who will reign over them will claim as his rights." So the prophet Samuel told all the words of the Lord to the people who were worshipping him for a king. He said, who were asking him for a king. He said, "This is what the king who will reign over you will claim as his rights. He will take your sons and make them serve him with chariots and horses, and they will run in front of his chariots. Some he will assign to be commanders of thousands and commanders of 50s, and others to plough his ground and reap his harvest, and still others to make weapons of war and equipment for his chariots. He will take your daughters to be perfumers and cooks and bakers. He will take the best of your fields and vineyards and olive groves and give them to his attendants. He will take 1/10 of your grain and of your vintage and give it to his officials and attendants. Your male and female servants and the best of your cattle and donkeys he will take for his own use. He will take 1/10 of your flocks, and you yourselves will become his slaves. When that day comes, you will cry out for relief from the king you have chosen, but the Lord will not answer you in that day." So this actually made me realize that we don't need leaders or rulers to rule over us. We don't need people like Bush, Blair, Brown, Cameron, Obama, or the Queen to rule over us and take our taxes and turn us gradually into slaves. We don't have to have these greedy, torturing warmongers who hoard the wealth of the world. The verses suggest that we are given leaders and corrupt leaders when we reject God. They're a sign of our rejection of God. We are punished with such leadership as a result of our own lack of faith. We have made them our gods, and we are punished with them for our own adulterous relationship with God. If we were faithful to God, there would be no need for these demigods to be appointed over us. So I advise all people to reject the need for a leader in their life. God can be your leader, and God alone, removing corruption and injustice. He can remove these blood-sucking elite parasites which drain us of our labour and resources. This is quite easy for God to do, but we can also support this by showing our faith in God. If we stop voting, we work towards self-sufficiency, stop chasing after material possessions, and avoid using interest, avoid taking loans, and pray to God for guidance in our hearts constantly. God willing, He will remove this corruption from our world. Finally, as always, I pray God guides you, protects you, and gives you peace. I pray that God guides the Satanists, Antichrist, and the devil to the straight path. And may the ultimate success be that all creation unite for truth and justice. And all of what I've written below. Ameen and Allahu Akbar.